It's your boy Titty, and I'm back again with another live, guys. And today's live is going to be my starts of the week. I got sneaky stars of the week, guys. I'm never going to go Lamar Jackson and Jahmyr Gibbs. I just can't do it. I'm sorry. I could do that. And it's like, hey, I got a great hit rate. I don't like doing it. And there's nothing wrong with channels doing it. I've watched channels that do that. But y'all guys should know to start your studs, so I'm not going to be redundant. But I'm going to go to guys at the middle tier level because I play fantasy, and I know I have questions about the middle tier guys. I don't have questions about the top, first, second, and third, even Brian Thomas, but I will address guys like that because he's in a different stratosphere right now. But we're going to talk about these middle tier guys, and I'm going to tell you to start these middle tier guys that I have cherry-picked, did research on, watched the game, right? And I'm going to sit here and be honest with y'all right now, guys. Do I watch the whole game of every single game every single week? No. Some teams I kind of know what's going on. I just skim through it. I look at the highlights. I look why this guy only hit 60 yards instead of 100 yards. You have to do that. There's no way you can consume every single thing and digest it and be able to put it in your head and talk about it genuinely, other than writing numbers down. We don't do numbers here, right? I'm not just going to write a 3.5 carry, don't pick him up. I'm going to give you a deep dive in what I see, portray it eloquently, and sometimes I can't portray it eloquently. So hopefully, I'm glad y'all guys are here. Hit the like button, subscribe to this channel. This is cutting edge content. I see Hennessy Black in the building. Yes, sir, bro. I see you. I see you. I see Aaron Holloway in the building. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got Father of Three in the building. We got RG in the building. What's going on, guys? Appreciate y'all being here. I say Big Will in the house. I say Big Will in the house. Watch your mouth. And I got my very first female subscriber. As always, Stacy always supporting me. And guess what, guys? She be showing y'all up. She been supporting me more than y'all guys have. Come on now. I appreciate it, Stacy. Stacy was one of my first subscribers on the OnlyFans. This is weird, TD. This is weird. Stacy said, ain't weird. I'm coming here to get the fantasy football content. You trying to be different. You being cutting edge content. You're not trying to do what everybody's doing. So I just had to give her a shout out. She a loyal supporter, even in off season. Appreciate you, Stacy. You know I'm gonna shout you out, girl. Deal Devoted, the best barber in the West Coast. Yes, sir. I'm coming out there. I'm gonna get me a haircut, bro. I need you to line this up right here, real nice, right? Line it up down here, come around here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Maybe give me a little park or something, do a little design. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got Charlene in the building. Been playing fantasy for a long time. Very, very, very savvy. Very, very savvy. Yes, let's get the likes up, guys. Hit the like button on the way in. We got Nino in the building. We got Ian Taylor, who's been supporting me for a long time. Appreciate you, Ian. Yes, sir. We got John in the building. Okay. So I can get to these questions. Let's go ahead and start getting through the stars of the week. And I'm going to start with the quarterback position. The quarterback that I think is a starter of the week is going to be C.J. Stroud going against the Tennessee Titans. You might say, well, Titty, CJ is struggling. That offensive line is terrible. But that doesn't mean every time you see a food and it doesn't look good, you need to taste it. Pause. What's going on, Tim? Sometimes you got to taste the food. So listen, it might have not been good what you've been seeing the last 2 to 3 weeks, but I actually thought last week was promising. Nico, listen, I don't care how you get it, as long as you get it, right? I don't care how you get there, as long as you get there. So Nico and C.J. Stroud should have one of their best games going against a rookie quarterback. That depletes the defense. When you have a rookie quarterback and he's turning the ball over, he's not understanding what he needs to do in certain situations, the defense is like, man, I'm just out here trying to get me a sack or a pick. We're not gonna win this game. So that helps a struggling team. This is a game that Houston is looking at and say, listen, we need to make a stance here. We need to get back and winning and change our trajectory of our season. And we seen Houston do that last year where they struggled. We thought they was going to miss the playoffs, and then they got hot. And then we seen a great coach team who played very, very well in playoffs. So I believe this is a Jobu game for C.J. Stroud and Nico Collins. So I'm playing them. C.J. Stroud is my quarterback starter of the week. Let's move on to my running back starter of the week. And it's going to be Ashton Jeanty from the Las Vegas Raiders. Listen, that is a little bit of an upper tier guy, but he's not been playing well. Well, his numbers has not been not coming out as we would think, right? As a rookie or a phenom rookie. But it's okay. He's going against the Bears, and guess what the Bears are doing? They giving it up to the town. They going behind the dumpster and giving it up. Easy money, easy pickings. So with that, guys, I think Ashton Jenkins with his PFF data, he's making a lot of guys miss. So why not can't make the Bears miss? I just need one 30-yard touchdown. I just need a touchdown or two. I need 5 or 6 catches. You got to get him in the screen game. Get him out and make him run option routes. He don't have to have 150 yards every single game. He can have 50 yards rushing. Devon A. Chain was a top 5 running back, and he wasn't. I don't even think he had 1,000 yards rushing. So that's what Ashton Jenkins can do. Alvin Kamara only had 1,000 yards rushing one time in his career. He's a Hall of Famer. So Ashton Jenkins right now, Chip Kelly, you don't need to try to make sure this guy running 25 times behind the line of scrimmage. You need to get him touches. And you know what it's called? And I tell y'all this every time. It's called manufactured touches. He needs to get some easy screens. Line him at wide receiver and let him run a screen. You got to come on, Chip Kelly, where you at? You're getting paid for this. You got to get these guys manufactured targets. Okay, let's move on to my wide receiver starter of the week. It's going to be Kevontae Turpin versus the Packers. And he's from the Dallas Cowboys. And listen, with no CeeDee Lamb, that's 12 to 13 targets, maybe even more, that's got to be dispersed between Kevon Turpin, Jalen Tolbert, and George Pickens. So Kevontae Turpin, with those targets moving up, that puts him in a way bigger stratosphere than even Jalen Tolbert or George Pickens. George Pickens is already there. We starting him because of the matchup, especially with CeeDee out. But what nobody knows what Kevontae Turpin is. I'm a big Kevontae Turpin fan. I told y'all to stash him. And listen, guys, start watching the videos. I'm not going to be repeating myself for like guys that I know y'all watch the content. And a lot of you do watch the content, so this is nothing towards you, but a lot of you be like, hey man, who should I trade? I'm like, bro, I just made a trade video 2 days ago. I made a trade video a week ago, and those guys are still on fire, and they still are trade targets. It's not outdated. It's not outdated, guys, until I make another video. If it's outdated, I would say it, but I get it. You can ask, hey, TD, I saw the last trade video. Is that up to date? And I can give you that, right? But yes, guys, Kevontae Turpin, I think he's a big play guy. So Dak is not going to go on 13, 14 play drives, probably with not a CeeDee Lamb, right? We don't got the run game for that. Javonte is efficient with scoring and getting us first downs, but he's not a big play Ezekiel Elliott type. So we need somebody who we can give the ball to and they can score. Jalen Tolbert is just he got good hands. I'm not going to say great hands. I don't like using great too much. I always say great. He got good hands, but he's not explosive. George Pickens is one of the best jump ball wide receivers that we've probably ever saw in the NFL. But who can touch it on the screen and take it 90? That's Kevontae Turpin. So y'all know how I feel about that. 30 point, 40 points, doing big plays. Sometimes the receivers like that, like Jameson Williams, hasn't been playing great in that way. So I'm going to revisit that as the week go on. But Kevontae Turpin, to me, has been outplaying his projections. So Kevontae Turpin against the Packers, who has a great pass defense. Okay, moving on to my tight end starter of the week. It's going to be Kyle Pitts. And guys, the main reason, it's other tight ends that I could have went to. I could have went back to Jake Ferguson. But I went to Kyle Pitts because I think y'all should be feeling good about starting him. You know, Michael Penix, he knows this is one of his few chances. He got about 2 more games before they try to pull a Bryce Young. I don't know. I wouldn't do it, but maybe they talking about rumors that they might bench him for Kirk Cousins and all this and that. But I think Kyle Pitts is a starter no matter what. I think he's a top 12 tight end. I'm watching the game. He looks good. He just need a few more efficient targets as far as in the green zone or touchdown to help his numbers. So if you got Kyle Pitts, don't be leaving him on the waivers. Who should I pick up? You remember what I say? Dance with the girl that you came to the party with. But if you didn't come to the party with no girl, then go in there and get you somebody that you can go home with. You can't go and get Trey McBride right now. You can't go get Margot Robbie at the party. You didn't come with her. You can't go get Salma Hayek. You didn't come with her. You didn't come with Justin Jefferson. But you know what you can? You came by yourself, so you can go on the waivers and you can get Kyle Pitts and you can play him. And guess what? Kyle Pitts before on a bad, maybe the girl is having a bad hair day, but usually she's a top of the line girl. People just been sleeping on her a little bit, right? So that's what Kyle Pitts is. I think you need to play Kyle Pitts this week. All right, let's move on to my flex play of the week, and it's going to be Luther Burden. And guys, you know how I feel about Caleb Williams. That was crazy. That whole video that I did about my boom plays of the week, everybody boomed. Caleb Williams was like, what, the number 2 quarterback of the week? Rome Odunze, he boomed. Wide receiver of the week. Jake Ferguson, tight end of the week. I was 100% on that video. Now, but Luther Burden, guys, I believe with Caleb Williams playing good, now you got to go to his residuals. Now you got to start looking at the pieces now. The pieces that I'm fading, Lisa, don't get mad at me. JC, don't get mad at me. It's DJ Moore. I don't want no DJ Moore right now. Cole Kmet's 2 touchdown dependent. So I'm stashing Loveland in Dynasty. DJ Moore, I'm stashing him, buying low for him in Dynasty because he's going to go to another team eventually. If it's not this year, it'll be most definitely next year. But Rome, Caleb Williams, and Luther Burden is the future for this team going forward. And they're going to find another running back. Maybe Kyle Menard gets a couple carries. If something happened to Swift, maybe Swift keeps this up for a while. But I wouldn't hold on to any of the running backs on this team. These are just rental guys. But the staple of this team is going to be Caleb Williams, Rome Odunze, and Luther Burden. So I'm starting Luther Burden. They got a great matchup against the Las Vegas Raiders, and they giving it up behind the dumpster, behind the apartment complex, in the car. They giving it up easy. So, you know, if you having a tough time until you having some tough luck, you playing against the Las Vegas Raiders, you're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay today. You're gonna go home with a smile today, right? Yes, let's get the likes up. Thank you, user. Most men is not able enough to be into their masculinity to talk about the bun. They hate on the bun. Like, I'm gonna change for them. Like, bro, you talking to the wrong. If you want somebody to change, you better go to another channel. Because TD, I go the opposite just to go to the opposite. Because I don't care. And the older I get, the more I do not care. So when I get an old man, ain't no telling what I might be. I ain't gonna be doing nothing like weird. But hey, I beat to my own drum, bro. That's why you see me doing my fantasy football content from my car. And you guess what? Now some of the big channels are doing it. But I don't hear y'all putting that in the comments. Hey, TD, I saw a dude doing a video from his car. Man, I thought you needed a studio. But no, now it's not about studio time. You see how everything comes like, it's just like Daniel Jones. Oh, you suck, you suck, you suck, you suck. All of a sudden, I get a couple good games. Oh, and now everybody's doing it. We moving on. Daniel Jones don't suck. I haven't seen a Daniel Jones suck comment in what? I ain't seen it. I need to get a studio. I ain't seen it. Okay, so my DST start of the week is going to be the Ravens. A lot of people dropped them. They didn't gave up, 20, 30 points the last 2 weeks, so people are dropped them. Don't forget, listen, they're going back to the Cleveland. They're going to play Cleveland again. They're going to be having some good matchups, so go ahead and get the Ravens and stash that good defense on your team. This defense is not going to be giving up like that. Now, it could happen. Anything can happen. This defense can go from sugar to shit. But it ain't that bad, man. They playing good matchups. This is the new NFL. This is like basketball. There are the #1 defenses in the NBA, but they still giving up 100 points. They still giving up one-on-one instead. You know what I'm saying? So this type of NFL teams are going to give up 30 points, but they're not always going to do that. It's about getting interceptions and turnovers. So if you have a DST, you need to put interceptions and turnovers and those type of stuff up because nobody's going to be holding teams under 21 points. Very few times each week. 2 teams might do it. Okay. So let's get to the honey. Let's get to the question. We got to get these questions asked. What's going on, Conscious Machine? What's up, bruh? What's going on, Paola? What's up, Renato? Christopher? NY in the building. B Silver. User. Robert Christensen. Colden. Tim J. All right. So Father 3 says, let's go. Let's go, bro. RG said with the 100% symbol. Big Will showing support. Aaron Holloway says, good afternoon, TD. Hennessy Black says, Caleb or Love. You got to go with Caleb in this situation. Hennessy Black says, start DK or Trey Tucker. Start Golden or Montgomery. Now, you listen, after Montgomery had that game, it's hard for me to go away from him. So I'm going to give you that context. But I do like Golden, and I do like DK. I'm starting DK over Trey Tucker. You got to start DK every week if you got him on your team, unless you got a really, really crazy team, right? If you got a really, really crazy team, yeah. I mean, yeah, you can sit DK, but you got to start DK over Trey. And between Golden and Montgomery, man, I got to say Montgomery, man. We just can't ignore that. They just not going to go away from Montgomery because it's a new week. So I'm going to say Montgomery over Golden, but Golden is a really good sneaky start at the wide receiver position. I wanted to almost have him in one of my plays of the week, but it was other guys I thought that I needed to mention. Ash says, love your channel. Thank you, Ash. Ian says, TD doing his thing. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Charlene says, if Bills are ahead by a lot, Ray Davis should have garbage time. Yeah, he should. But I don't know if I'm going to play that for that situation. I don't know if I'm going to put Ray Davis in my lineup unless I'm in a 16 league and I need a flex play. But it's going to be tough for me to put Ray Davis in there for garbage time. But I agree with that. That's how you got to think. Got to think that game script. And that game script does say that Ray Davis can get some more carries. But that James Cook, it might be arguably the best running back in the league. And I said what I said, and I stand on that. James Cook is arguably one of the best running backs in the league. Aaron Holloway says, cutting edge content. Yes, sir. Nino says, yo, TD, what's going on? What's going on, bro? High five. What's going on with you? John says, lost CD. Should I start Wan'Dale, Charbonnet, or Travis Hunter? I'm going to say Charbonnet over Travis Hunter. I can't play no Travis Hunter. Wan'Dale is okay for PPR, but I need to see Jackson Dart with Wan'Dale one time. I'm not going to tell you to play something that you ain't never seen, right? We never seen Wan'Dale and Jackson Dart in a real game, so let's hold off on Wan'Dale. Let's go to Charbonnet for the safe play. Now, if you want some upside, I can't even call Travis Hunter upside right now, man. He's a sit, man. He's just a straight up sit, bro. But I think Wan'Dale got a little bit of upside because of what he did with Russell, even though that's not Jackson Dart. But I would probably just go with Charbonnet for the safe play and then wait and see how this offense flows, and then I'll make a decision next week. Sometimes you have to do that, bro. We have no research to go off of. We just got to go. We just got gut feeling in a couple games. So I'm going with Charbonnet. Deal Devoted says, cutting edge content. Joe Mixon, waiver wire pickup now before he goes RB1 in Houston, no question. Yeah, man, what is that going to look like, though? But, yeah, he's definitely a stash. He's definitely a stash. I don't know how that's going to look. I don't know if that ankle is good enough for him to stay into the lineup and get what he's supposed to get, the carries that we're looking for him to get, the goal line carries. I don't know if he's going to get that. But that is thinking ahead, and I definitely would stash him if he's out there on your waivers. He's not on none of my waivers, but you definitely a great stash. Nino says, thoughts on sending Pacheco, Elliott for Judy and B-Rob. I got CMC, so I got a handcuff. So listen, man, I'm going to go with you, Nino. You want the handcuff, go ahead and get him. If you want the handcuff, bro, go ahead and get him. Me, I'm keeping Elliott. I'm not worried about no Pacheco. I'm dropping his ass or selling him for low. I don't want no Judy. Judy ain't playing that well right now. Now, if I need a wide receiver because I'm in the deep league, yeah, I'll play Judy because he has upside and he can get going later. And B-Rob is just a backup, and that's just almost I'm spending money on an insurance plan instead of going and taking my kid out to Chuck E. Cheese and having a good time and living life day by day. When I die, we just die. Go in my account and see what I got in my account and bury me. But I'm not going to sit here and put no insurance plan in front of my team or put no insurance plan in front of my family. I'm not doing it. So Elliott is the guy that can take you as the $1 million ticket that you can change your family with. But getting B-Rob for CMC, I don't even if B-Rob get it, is he going to be a top 12 running back? A top 24 running back, if CMC goes down, is not going to make him break you. I don't believe so. It could. So I would just try to get rid of Pacheco, keep Elliott, and let Judy and B-Rob go and try to work the waiver wire and find me somebody else if I need to put a running back in. I wouldn't worry about no handcuff. I don't think you need to worry about insurance right now. Big Will says, bruh, you were right. Drafting a top-tier quarterback early hits different. I'm 3-0 with Josh Allen. Thank you for telling me that, Big Will. That means a lot, bro. I'm not even being funny. Matter of fact, let me clip this, because I might need this later. This is what I've been telling y'all, and I don't want to, it ain't that I'm trying to make myself be right. Guys, let's get the likes. So we got 40 people in here. We only got 24 likes. I'm not trying to make myself be right, but I know what I know. I know what I know. And guys, if you go look at the championship teams, they got elite quarterbacks. It's hard. It ain't hard, because I got a couple teams. I got Derrick Henry, CMC, Chuba Hubbard, Alvin Kamara, DK Metcalf. I got killer running backs. And I couldn't get a top quarterback in that league because they was already gone. I didn't want no sloppy seconds, right? I didn't want to get no Jaden Daniels and Jalen Hurts. I didn't want those guys. And it was kind of preference, because I think some of these other guys are top tier too. But every league that I got Lamar and I can actually draft a few good players with it, it's a wrap. I don't need a good tight end when I got Lamar. I don't need Trey McBride. I don't need Brock Bowers when I got Lamar. Lamar putting up 45, 50 points. So elite quarterback is where it is. And listen, I'm going to tell y'all something right now. I will make a rant video on y'all ass if the whole fantasy football community, if these big time channels like Fantasy Pros, and a couple of them are my friends, so I'm not going to really say nothing about these guys. I watched a lot of these guys, but the Fantasy Pros, they got good content. The fantasy footballers, if they tell y'all to draft quarterbacks in the first round and y'all do it, I'm going to talk shit to y'all ass all year long. Because I've been telling y'all this for 2 years. Here go TD. What's the next crazy thing he gonna say? You got to draft these quarterbacks early. I'm going, especially at the turn at the 112, 2-1. I'm getting like a Justin Jefferson and a Lamar type, right? Or Derrick Henry and Lamar. Aaron Holloway says, get the likes up, fam. Yes, sir. Tim J said, what's up, brother? Big growing stuff says, crazy question. Chase Brown or Pittman? I'm going with Michael Pittman at this time. They got a good matchup. The Rams' defense is not easy, but I like Michael Pittman against those corners. He's a jump ball guy. He's a contest and catch guy. He don't got Patrick Surtain on him. So I like Pittman over Chase Brown, but don't drop Chase Brown. You got to stash him, man. This is the type of guy that you drafted in the second or third round. You kind of got to wait it out and see. It's like having a wife. You argue, you can't leave it. You can't leave that. If you do that, you weak. Every time you argue with somebody that you nested in, that you committed to, and when I say committed, when you draft a person in the first 3 rounds, you committed. You committed. When you marry a woman, you committed. So when she goes off and just cusses you out in front of your friends and you mad and you know this is a red flag, you're gonna have to, y'all gotta talk it out. Or you just gonna be one of these up and down people and I just sway with the wind. I just sway with the wind. I don't care. Right? So you gotta be strong. So keep stash Chase Brown, but play Michael Pittman. We got a super chat from Big Will. What's up, bro? He says, what up, bro? Who are your drops for the week? I haven't did that video yet. It's just so many videos to make, and I don't want to put so many videos out there that messes up the algorithm. So that's why I didn't do a live last night. The video hit different when I didn't upload anything else with that video. So sometimes I'm just figuring out the algorithm, guys. I'm still a growing channel. But I can think of a couple guys. Let me finish reading the question. He said, would you drop Braylon Allen? No, I would not, but I will drop Garendo. I'm definitely dropping Garendo. Or Golden for the Ravens DST stash. Don't drop Golden. So you don't need to get to the Ravens defense if you got to drop Golden. But if you can drop Garendo, hell yeah, drop Garendo right now, bro. It's okay to get off the live. Drop Garendo or put me in a side window. Hear me talking through the background. Drop Garendo and go get Ravens DST stats. That's the great move. What is Garendo? It's over for his career is not over, but Garendo is not. He doesn't have the backup role anymore like that. So Garendo is nobody. He should be on waivers. Garendo is a waiver. Bill, you got to keep him stashed. Braylon Allen, you can't drop them more premium handcuffs. Bill has got standalone value. Braylon Allen has standalone value. Garendo has no standalone value. Golden has standalone value. He's ready to play. He has a big week. Appreciate the super chat, bro. Drops of the week. Another guy that I can give you that I think is a drop is Calvin Ridley. That's another drop of the week. And it's like I got a few trade guys you need to get off. Like Kenneth Walker, you need to get off of him. You need to get off Kenneth Walker. Appreciate you, Big Will. NY says, big night for Mark Andrews, who scored twice. Sell high. Yes, sell high. And so, I don't know if it was you, NY, but somebody said, TD, I feel it. Mark Andrews is coming with a big game. And I said, hey man, he might, but I don't care. I'm not chasing that. And people, even announcers was telling you that, well, this is just kind of garbage time. Even announcers were saying it. Hey, this is just Mark Andrews. Now listen, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna be straight up honest with you. Guys, Mark Andrews gonna probably have 2 more games like that. But what are you getting for that, right? So that's like telling you, and y'all know I do the relationships. If you get married to a woman, you can only be intimate or make love to her once a month. What are you doing? It don't matter how pretty she is. I'd rather take a woman in a wheelchair that I can go and we can make love anytime we ready, anytime we want to. I want somebody a little bit more consistent than Mark Andrews, and it's out there, and you can stream. Now, if Mark Andrews, you can get him off the waivers, he becomes that value now, right? So if you can make something be a value, if it comes to you in the right situation, it can become a value. Like, I'm not going to go buy a used car for top of the line money, but if I can get it for 60% on a dollar, then that's different. And if you can get Mark Andrews and start him because you got him off waivers and you didn't cost you anything, you didn't draft him, then hell yeah, he's a good tight end to have out there. He said he is TD or bust every week and won't often out target Flowers. He's going to give you some down weeks. He might give you 3 down weeks, then give you 2 up weeks, and then he might give you 3 up weeks, and then he might give you the rest of the year down weeks. I don't know. I don't want that volatility unless I'm getting it for a value. Let's see here. Let's get the likes up, fellas. Conscious says 0-3. Montgomery beat me and Jameer. Yes, I lost to Montgomery. Let me go down to the ball and make sure everything is good. What's going on? Okay. All right. Yeah, everything is good. All right. I just want to make sure. Robert Christian says, I want to take a chance on Marks and Golden. I think it's time. Yes. The guy from Houston, I like him over waiting on Joe Mixon. I think he is the younger back, and you can trust his health right now. He just needs to learn. So in the 4th quadrant, he should know how to protect C.J. Stroud, how to pick up the blitz, what to do, all the little things that it takes time to learn. And that's at each level. So, yes, I agree. And Golden. I agree with you. That's cutting edge content, Robert. It's their time. Now listen, Golden might go out there and give you 7 points, but his situation is so good, everything is there for him. Before Christian Watson comes back, it's hard for you not to be able to play him and see what's going on, right? He's like, this makes sense, man. He got to go for at least a deep one or 2 deep plays, right? It makes sense. I agree with you, Robert. Content Machine says, damn. Vib says, what's good, big homie? What's good? Deal Devoted says, if you didn't come to the party with a girl, go get you one. TD, I love it, man. Free game. Come on now. Listen, guys, psychology was one of my favorite subjects. So I can relate because of my psychology that I took. Guys, I'm going to tell you something. You could go look it up. You can call the school. Go look up Lewisburg College in North Carolina, in Lewisburg, and you can call them and ask them what my grade was. I had the highest grade ever in the history of junior college at Lewisburg. I had like 130, 140, and that whole class had high grades. You know why? Who was this black guy sitting in the front of the class raising his hand, nervous that his life might be over? You know, I was going through it. So I'm like, nope, I'm gonna come to this. I'm almost getting emotional now. I'm like, I'm about to show y'all. I'm about to make straight A's. Guys, I don't be playing no games. I made straight A's. Everybody thought, oh, Titty, life is over. He ain't playing no football. I went to that school. I made straight A's. Now, the last semester before I transferred, I made a B. And that was for whatever reason, me just housing around, not doing what I'm supposed to do. But when I put my mind to it, I can do anything, guys. So I'm always going to put that into my content. I'm not going to be strictly business because that's not who I am. I'm business, but I'm also going to give you the real world stuff because that motivates people and motivates me. Okay. Appreciate that deal. Conscious Machine says Dart is about to win me a championship, and I believe so too, man. Listen, guys, sometimes I admit I get nervous. I don't want to do content. I don't want the back flag. I don't want to. TD, you said Dart, you wrong on that one. Sometimes I ain't got time for that, man. I'm trying to help you out, and you wanna say I'm wrong, and I'm giving you a dart throw, pun intended. I'm giving you a dart throw, and pun intended, and then I'm gonna get criticized for it. But I do believe that, man. I do believe that Conscious. I love Dart. I think it's not that he's gonna go out and win a Super Bowl, but his arm. It's like he ain't playing scared, and that helps everybody develop. That's gonna help Malik develop. Malik need those targets deep. Pause. Wandale needs to be somebody ain't scared to stay in the pocket, can see over the line and get it out. Not listen, I'm 5'10", 5'11", so I understand height, but Jackson Dart for that offensive line is better for that team. Conscious says hit that like button. Nino says sure hope so. User says I like the man bun. Thank you, bro. B Silver says giving up the cookies. Nino says, worst case scenario, I get Jameis for Neighbors, though. Okay, I don't know what situation that is. Is it Jameson Williams? Sorry, man. I ain't going to go back up. I can't. I got too many comments. But let me know, bro. Let's get the likes up, fellas. We got 60 people in here, and we only got 38 likes. We need at least 50 likes in here. Conscious says Fields might get the start over Dart for me. I gotta see what Fields is doing. You're not wrong for that. I think that makes sense. That's an Occam Razor decision. I get it. You dancing with the girl that you already been with, right? I get that. It makes sense. But you listen, you're not married, so you need to make sure you keep your options open. You need to keep your options open. NY says DJ Moore is not the Bears' #1 wide receiver anymore. He's not. He is not the main feature piece of this offense. He's not. He's like the third piece, and they're gonna trade him. And they can get a second or a third for him. They can get some nice pieces for DJ Moore. DJ Moore is a good wide receiver. Tennessee would love to have DJ Moore. Stacy says pick 2, wide receiver and flex, full PPR. Harrison Jr., Olave, Breach, Keenan Allen, Bill Pickens. She does it with such dry humor. I bet her sense of humor is very dry. She's saying the Breach like his name is really Breach. Pick 2. Okay, Olave is a PPR machine. He's safe. He's one of the safest wide receivers. He's getting a lot of targets underneath. I'm gonna go with Pickens. And Keenan Allen. Pickens and Keenan Allen. But let me tell you something. Harrison Jr. has the most upside. So if you wanted to switch any of those guys out, I'm going to leave it up to you. You can switch out Pickens or Keenan Allen. Pickens, you almost got to play Pickens. There's no CeeDee Lamb. With Dak, you almost got to play Pickens. I mean, it's nothing really to be said about that. You kind of got to make that decision. If you're talking to me, Keenan Allen to me is playing great. But it's playing great. Does it feel consistent in my gut? It doesn't feel consistent. It's too many mouths. Lad ain't had this game. Quentin Johnson, you know what I'm saying? But I respect Keenan Allen because he's been a top 5 wide receiver 2 or 3 times in his life. So I want to respect him. But I like Pickens and Marvin Harrison for the upside. I'm just giving you purely upside. But to make sure that you get some points and you got a good team would be Olave and Keenan Allen. To me, those are the guys who's been trending, playing well. That everybody know they got a trend. They've been playing well on a 3-game trend. That's what Keenan Allen and Olave has been doing. But to me, I like Harrison Jr. and Pickens for the upside for 40 points. But if you got really good running backs, maybe you just need to be safe with Olave and Keenan Allen, or Olave and Pickens. Appreciate you, Stacy. Conscious Machine says, "Hey, Charlene." Renato, what's up, bro? He said, what up, TD? Should I hold Harvey and Tootin? Burden is free on waivers. It depends on what. I don't want you to drop Harvey, man, but if you think you can get back to him Is that what's the song by I can't think of the song. Trying to get my way back, way back. That's my shit. But if you can get back to Harvey, I definitely think you need to pick up Burton if you need a wide receiver, but don't pick up Burton to stash him and then drop a higher stash. Harvey is a running back, so he's always going to be a higher end stash than a wide receiver. But if you need wide receiver flex play and you need it this week, and you're trying to move forward with that type of player, then Burton, you could probably drop Harvey and try to get back to him later, because JK is playing well. Travis Etienne is playing well, but Tootin is getting the goal line touches. Harvey ain't getting goal line touches yet. So I would say leave Burton out there if you need running back depth. Christopher, he says, "Hey TD, what's up, bruh? Conscious said, TD, you got the receipts on Daniel Jones. You had the faith in him not last year. It was year before last. Last year. I was like, hey man, play him, stream him. The year before that, I was saying he was gonna win MVP, and that was terribly wrong. But listen, things come back around on it. I don't look that crazy, do I?" Jimmy says, add Burton, immense upside rest of the schedule. You know it, Jimmy. Conscious says, Packers DST here. Yeah, they good. Going against them damn Cowboys. Paula says, any defense is underrated. It is. That whole team is playing well. Senor Rahor. What's up, bruh? Sean Bonds, the one and only. He said, was offered Judkins and Montgomery for Hampton, bruh. No, we staying with Hampton. You got the sauce with Hampton, bruh. You got it. He getting all the goal line touches. I wouldn't give him up. I love Judkins, but we ain't giving up that. Judkins is a harder fight to get to a top 12 running back than Hampton. All Hampton has to do is just let them throw it to Quentin Johnson and get down by the goal line and run it in. That's all he got to do now. So we good with Hampton. Judkins got to go and play with bad quarterback play. Montgomery got Jahmyr Gibbs to beat out or to compete with. But Hampton has nobody to beat out no more. So I would stay with Hampton, bruh. Don't get a bunch of, and that ain't fruit salad, but that's just too much food for the party. It is too much like, yeah, you got a lot of food, but nobody's gonna eat it. You don't even have to throw it away. It's not even gonna help anybody. Christopher says Waddle or DJ Moore this week. I'm going with Waddle, but DJ Moore has touchdown upside, but I'm going with Waddle. TZG man. What up, bruh? All right, hold up. Let me make sure that I got to that super chat. Okay. TZ says full PPR. Appreciate the super chat, bruh. He says full PPR for this week. Drake May or Geno Smith, and flex one, Judkins, Benson, or Trey Tucker. I'm playing Drake May against Carolina over Geno Smith. And I'm going to go with Benson slightly over Judkins. I think Judkins needs to be in your lineup, but I'm going to go with Benson because of what you just did. It's almost like, man, you got a new girlfriend, and then you're going to go back, and then you're trying to get another new girlfriend. Like, okay, man, you just got a new girlfriend. Let's experience what this is. Let's see what she brings to the table, bro. Let's see what Benson got. You done went out there and got him. I guess I'm going with the lesser of the defenses. I know Seattle is the #1 defense, but, and I'm getting a brain freeze right now. But I forgot who Cleveland was playing. I just had it in my mind. I would go with Benson against Seattle over Judkins with bad quarterback play. The bad quarterback play in Detroit. I think Detroit is on one day out to prove something. I knew that they had a chance to beat the Baltimore Ravens after they got beat by Green Bay. That was a bad move by Green. And I don't mean that like bad mood, but Green Bay beating Detroit woke him up. They woke him up, bro. And Dan Campbell is pissed. So he want to prove a point every single game now. So that worries me a little bit against Judd because I'm still starting him in the leagues that I got him. But I like Benson against Seattle in a divisional game. We're not ready to start Trey Tucker. He's just a stash. James Stark says, okay, we did that one. Yankee says pick 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, and a flex. Okay, 2 wide receivers. I'm going with Ibuka. I'm going with Ibuka and Nico. 2 running backs would be Cook and Chuba. Cook and Chuba over Judkins, who got bad quarterback play, over Travion, who still trying to get the ball to damn Ramondre Stevenson. So I'm going to go with Cook and Chuba. And in my flex play, man, you got to play Malik for the upside over Zay. Zay, I feel terrible leaving out Zay. I feel terrible. I think Zay is a big time must start, but it's too many mouths to feed, man. You got too many guys. So I have to just pick the best, man. I try not to have teams like that, but I guess, guys, I got to understand that we got 8-team and 10-team leagues out here, and I'm going to have to make those tough calls. And I'm not going to be perfect on them. I'm going to go ahead and tell you that now. It's just very, very hard to make those calls. I think the 12-man teams are kind of a little bit easier. I hate to say that. The 12-man leagues are easier to make starts and sits than the 18 leagues and 10-team leagues. Jay Moore says Henny should be the lead back this week. We want him. I need to see it first. I got burned there once, right? I got burnt there once. You got to learn your lesson when you get burnt. You got to learn your lesson. NY says, is Torrey Horton a stash? Yes, he should push Kupp for the wide receiver 2 role. Yes, he should. But remember, Kupp is a veteran. And so they're going to make that be really, really slow. And even when he do it, Kupp's still going to be out there. They're just going to give Horton more targets. They're going to fade out Kupp very slowly because he's a vet. Those wide receivers are learning a lot from Kupp. Even though he's not producing, they're still learning how he practices, how he carries himself. Yeah, he's definitely a stash. Zay215 says, you going Benson or Genty this week? I'm going Genty over Benson. Deal, man, calm down, bro. You know all my songs, don't you? Damn, man. Bro, you got an old soul. You got an old soul, bro. I can't wait to come out there to the West Coast, man. Listen, man, I don't want to get jumped. Don't put me in no bad neighborhoods, bro. I don't want to get robbed or none of that. I ain't trying to be funny, but I don't know nothing about California, but I'm definitely coming out there, bro. I got some friends that I want to visit out there on the West Coast. And as my channel grow, I'm going to do a meet and greet on the West Coast too. But yeah, bro, you're right. Jaheim, that's it. That's it. That boy know his music now. That boy know his music. Braden Morton. He says, do you think professional ball players' contracts make them complacent after their rookie season? That's a great question. It depends, bruh. Let me tell you about me. Money always drives me because that's my Maslow hierarchy of need. I grew up with not a lot of money. I grew up as the family that we would go ask the next door neighbor for ketchup. Embarrassing. They judging my family. They judging my house. The kids is already now. We wake up. My mama, we don't got any eggs. My mama boiled us some hot dogs and we split it in the bread and eat it with ketchup. Before we go to school, we got people judging us. So I grew up like that. So what I'm trying to say is it's each individual. You got some guys like Shannon Sharp who grew up with no toilet, and that makes them monsters coming up. That makes them a monster. Like, you don't give me more money, I'll watch what I do. And then you got guys who are born with money, and that money doesn't mean anything to them. So I think it's an individual basis. And I think the NFL is not the best talent in the world. It is, but it ain't. There are so many guys who are very, very talented would never have the opportunity because they don't have the drive to do it. They just there, they see that they got it, and they let it go. Like Shaq. Shaq would tell you if he didn't have his father, he just would have been a tall, clumsy dude for the rest of his life. On probably right now at his age and how he probably would have been eating, he probably would have been unhealthy and on welfare. But he had a father that humbled him and took him and was in the military and taught him how to have drive. And Shaq doesn't still have the drive that we want him to have, and he admits it too. But that little drive made him be one of the greatest centers to ever play the game. So I think it's an individual basis as far as the contract. Tom Brady was always hungry. And I'm not saying he came up poor, but he was always hungry. He was more hungrier than guys that was poorer than him. He wanted it. He had something to prove. That's why, guys, and you can see I went through a situation about that, guys. Tom Brady lost his family too because he was so focused on the bag. So when you focus like that, guys, sometimes people get turned off by that. That's a great question, bro. TZG man says, thanks, bro. Much love. Anytime. Chris Villa says, better stats, Dowdle or Ollie Gordon? Ollie Gordon all day. Noah says, Ladd or Brian Thomas the rest of the season? I'm going to go with Ladd for the rest of the season because Justin Herbert is on fire. Noberto said, what's up, bro? Garrett Wilson or Ibuka? I'm going with Ibuka this week with Mike Evans missing. And with Justin Fields probably coming back. Rest of the this week and rest of the season, I would go with, if Justin Fields gets benched, I'm going with Garrett Wilson. If Justin Fields is there, then I'm gonna say Ibuka. Jay Moore says, would you flex Ayomano or Burton over Henne this week? I probably would go with Burton, even though it's very edgy because of the upside in the matchup. The Chicago Bears have a great matchup against the Las Vegas Raiders. So that's the reason why I would go with Burton. Henne has a good matchup too, but like again, they still want to give Ramondre the ball. Antonio Gibson is still there. Chris says, are you adding Chris Rodriguez? He started and got all the work on the opening drive. Worth adding to see if the usage sticks in the future weeks? Yes, if you got room on your team. Yes, if you got room on your team. I don't think so, but we don't know, right? I like how you said it, just worth adding to see the usage. I like that. I like I'm agree to a process before I agree to a vacuum statement. When you give me vacuum statements, that's why y'all be thinking I missed on something. No, you gave me a vacuum statement, I'm gonna give you a vacuum answer. But when you go and say, hey, TD, what about, and then I'm gonna see what happens this week because this guy got this, then it makes sense. And I'm saying, yeah, man, I get that. Let's see what his usage is going forward. Noah says, Breach or Hubbard rest of the season. That's easy, Hubbard. Chuba Hubbard. Yankee says Chase Brown, Jameson, or Waddle for the flex. I'm going to go with Jameson slightly over Chase Brown. Jameson slightly over Chase Brown. Starting Ibuka, CMC, Chuba as my other starters, yes. Jimmy says Luke McCaffrey might see a roll bump with McCoy out. Yes, I agree with that. In the slot. I don't know who's going to play the outside wide receiver. Maybe Noah Brown. Sage says, what's your panic meter on Chase Brown? Well, we want to see one more week. We like to go for 4 weeks here. We call it a quadrant. We believe 4 quadrant in a fantasy football season, and after this week will be the first quadrant. Let's see that, and then we'll make assessment after that. But right now, I don't panic in 4 weeks. Most of the time, I could divvy off of my plan sometimes because you have to. But right now, let's just play Chase Brown one more week and see what happens. Noberta says, I have CMC, Hampton, Mason, Judkins, Brian Robinson, gave up Mason for Kittle. I have Fanning Jr. Your thoughts? You have CMC, Hampton, Mason, Judkins, Brian Robinson, gave up Mason for Kittle. I have Fanning Jr. Your thoughts? You got a good team. You make a move. You got CMC, you got Hampton. You gave up Mason because you needed to go and get a better tight end because Fanning Jr. just kind of low-end tight end, and Kittle could be a league winner. So I understand why you gave up Mason, and you got Judkins, and then you got Brian Robinson because of CMC. And I want to tell y'all, I'm going to keep telling you, some of you are so scared, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way. Some of you are so scared you got to get a handcuff. Like, you guys, don't get good players. Good players. Players that can come into their position, right? You didn't have to have a handcuff for Hampton in order for that to happen, for Hampton to get the starting role. You didn't have to have Najee and Hampton. You had to just have, okay, I know he's a rookie, I'm stashing him. I know RJ Harvey's a rookie, I'm stashing him. I know Genty's a rookie, I'm stashing him. That's the process. I got Trey Benson because there was no other player at that value. Oh, I didn't go get Trey Benson because I got old-ass James Conner. No, don't be that way because that way will fail you sometimes. It will fail you a lot. But if you go and get the best player available, players just keep rolling in. Every time an injury go down, oh, he's starting. Just because you got good players that could get opportunities. Don't just go get the handcuff. Paola says, bruh, should I trade Jalen Hurts for Drake May and Travion Henderson? No, we need to see more. We need to wait a quadrant and maybe even another week or so. Let's wait before we get off Jalen Hurts. That's a little too cutting edge right there. Let's wait on that one. Slayin says, just picked up Geno. Yes, sir. Geno is a good streamer, great bridge quarterback. Jeep Trolling says, you look like a angry auntie at a cookout. Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. I ain't angry. I just don't play no games. I'm just serious. You can see my soul through my eyes. Cause I don't cap. Ain't no cap in my rap. So when people, I would never come to a channel and say you look like a angry auntie, cause my eyes don't carry aunties in it. I don't play no games. I'm for real. I'm genuine. I'm honest. I got morals. That's why you might think I look angry. Maybe you around, everybody's playing. Everybody got money for you. Everybody good. Everything is okay. I can ask my mommy for money. I can't do that. So I carry a lot of stuff on my shoulders, and that's okay because I'm a good person too. And I know y'all, don't address the chat. Guys, you got to. It's content. I don't have a lot of stuff going on in the background with the likes, so I have to make content and address some things. Yankee says, would you start Godwin this week? He was a full participant. Would you start Godwin over Ibuka this week? Hell no, Yankee. No way. I have both of them, and the team does make sense to start both of them with Evans out. Yeah, but Godwin, man, no. Straight Ibuka and find somebody else. Let Godwin prove it to you, right? If you dating a girl, y'all going on a date, man, let her prove. Don't ask her to be your girlfriend. Let her prove herself to you before you put her back in that. Or if you break up and y'all trying to make it work, she has to prove herself back before you allow her back into your circle. Before you put Godwin in the starting lineup, you need to let him prove it first. Ibuka is your new girl. Pause. We using metaphors here. Slayer says, going to sit Dak for Geno this week. Listen, that's cutting edge content. I don't play fantasy football that way, but that's not a bad play that you're doing, because Geno does have a good matchup against the Chicago Bears, who been giving up behind the dumpster. Dak, they got a little bit of a tough matchup. You know what I'm saying? They playing against the Green Bay Packers. So they conservative. They ain't giving nothing up like that, right? They ain't giving up. The Cleveland had to struggle to do that. TZ says, tell him, TD, don't ban these guys talking smack. I'm here for you to clap backs. I know, bruh. That's what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? I ain't banned. Now, listen, I will, if it get weird, I'm not gonna sit here and dress weirdness. My elevation and my energy is too high for that. But if you come in here with a little bit of troll in you, I'll address it. Appreciate that, TZ. King Justin says, sorry to hear you lost your family for pursuing your channel and chasing the bag. That's what happened, bro. And some other stuff that come in there, but you know, that's what it is. I'm not throwing rose petals down every day that I come home from work. And listen, guys, I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of a lesson. That's why it's never one-sided when stuff go wrong. You know, you look at, and I'm just gonna name random stuff we seen. The Temptations broke up. It wasn't just old boy fault. Bobby Brown coming into the forgot the group, Deal Devoted, I tell you. It wasn't just Bobby's fault or Bobby being egotistical when he wanted to leave. It's a little bit of both. So me being so focused, guys, as becoming a millionaire and focusing on my dreams that I want, I couldn't be a great loving man. Like you know how you really, when you into somebody, like you putting flowers down, you buying them gifts every single day, you doing little sweet things, all of that. Sometimes we get so focused on the money, you think that's what everybody's gonna enjoy. And some people don't care nothing about your money until it get here. Woo! Until it get here. Then as soon as it get here, oh my God, I always knew. And it's just different times and different spaces for people. No. So that's what happens. That's what life is about. That's what life is about. Life is about, like, what are you gonna pick? I can't die and I ain't never try to chase the bag. I can't do that. I die in vain. I be scared to die. Oh my God, I'm gonna die. I ain't got no money. I ain't never did anything. No, I can't do that. Jay Moore says, any other DST streamers you like? No, not right now, because I don't have it. I'm not gonna sit here and bring that up. But it was one more defense that I did. It was the Ravens. And the Detroit. I like Detroit defense. Ravens and Detroit. Sage, did I skip your question? If I skipped your question, Sage, I didn't mean to. Put it back in the chat, Sage. I apologize. I tried to get everybody question, but my phone, sometimes I miss stuff. I'm getting old. I don't see as good as I used to. Sorry about that, Sage. Phil said start Kenneth Walker versus the Cardinals, even if Charbonnet might come back, or Javante versus the Packers. I think you have to start Kenneth Walker against the Cardinals, even if Charbonnet comes back. If you got Charbonnet, that's the type of person you got to play him while you got him. You can't sit around and be playing matchups with him. You're going to miss the boom games. So he got a good matchup. Arizona defense is okay. Play Kenneth Walker, even if Charbonnet comes back, over Javante. You need to do something with Javante right now before he have a down. He have a down game, everybody's going to be off of him. So do something with him, man. You should always trying to consolidate. You don't want too many good problems can hurt you. Yes, I love Seattle defense. You got to play. They're the #1 defense right now. You got to play them. Jay Moore says, you like Knicks this week? Yes, because he's a girl that you brought to the party, right? Dance with the girl that you came to the party with. You drafted him at that tier. Now, if you're in an 18 league, hell no. If you're in an 18 league, go stream somebody. But if you're in a 12-team league, it doesn't make sense for you to go stream somebody who, when Knicks is going to go off. We don't want to drop somebody and then they end up being successful and we go to somebody that ain't. And that's what happens in relationships. He this and he... Listen, guys, do you think Jay-Z had a girlfriend before Beyonce? Do you think Tupac had a girlfriend before Jada Pinkett? These people had people and they doubted them. And that's why I say go down with the ship. I'm loyal because I'm okay. Like, if I go down with somebody and I believed in them and they just don't get to the height, I'm okay with it. Because I went down with my ship. I believed in them. I don't want to be like, oh, you farted? Get out of here. I'm done with her. Right? I don't like this. So you drafted Knicks. You drafted them for a reason. Play them. It's only the 3rd week of the season. Play them. Now, if you got Caleb Williams out there, we can talk about that because I do believe Caleb Williams is coming into a different tier. So some guys we can talk about. Jimmy says, would you drop Dak for Geno? Would you drop Dak for Geno? No, I'm not dropping Dak for Geno. CeeDee Lamb should be coming back. I stream Geno. I can possibly stream him over Dak if Dak struggles. Justin, he said, what up, TD? Love the content, bro. Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, hold on. I think I got another super chat. Let me go down here and look for it. Okay, now matter of fact, I already got to it. Gabe says traded Neighbors, Josh Jacobs, and Tyler Warren for Collins, Odunze, and Scatterbo. How did I do? You did pretty good, and you got off Neighbors. I'm not mad at you. Look, I don't want nobody to trade Neighbors, especially with Jackson Dart coming in there, and you drafted Neighbors, but you went and got guys that got the true upside. You got the #1 wide receiver in Houston, and nobody else is taking his targets. Nico, you got a Odunze who's about to be a top 5 wide receiver. Odunze is him, and I'm not mean him like he's gonna break the 2,000 yards receiving, but he's gonna have a great year this year. He's gonna have a great year. Scatterbo, he's the new starter in New York with Jackson Dart being there. Maybe he looked good with Russell. He's gonna catch passes, so he has a safe floor. Bro, I'm gonna give it an A because you got off Neighbors and you made a good move getting off a top end wide receiver. So congratulations, bro. Great move, Gabe. Great move. Let me see. Hairline gone. You crazy as hell. You must don't see that, bro. You see that widow's peak? That's my forehead. Where you want my hair to be right here? Hey, listen, I ain't no shame in my game. You see I won't die yet. I ain't mad at you, Jeffrey. Appreciate you being here. Sage says, don't let them get to you, big bruh. Oh, no, they don't, bruh. This is just who I am. You got to understand. What I've learned the last 4 to 5 years is be myself. So, guys, when I go to the barbershop or I go home, we all sitting out at the bonfire talking shit, eating peanuts and shit like that. We talk, you got to talk shit back. Somebody might say, man, who you think you is out here with that hair? Do you think you cute or something? You think you getting girls? Yeah, bro. You know me. You got to talk the shit back. And so that's what I'm doing. That's all I'm doing, Sage. Where I come from, we ain't know. Okay, man, I'm humble. I'm not responding to that. Like, you gonna get beat up. And I don't mean that literally, but that somebody gonna keep picking on you. You have to talk some shit back sometimes. And sometimes it might get a little heated within the debate. Ain't nobody gonna fight nobody. Ain't nobody gonna go get no gun or nothing. We just gonna talk our shit and keep it moving. And that's why I let y'all know. That's why I do that here. A lot of personality, guys. I got a lot of personality. Came up in it. Came up in the lookhouses. He says, Jimmy says, what you think about Addison off of suspension? I like Addison. The only thing reason why I haven't been telling y'all to buy Addison is I don't know if JJ McCarthy is ready to handle all these weapons. So I'm a little bit nervous with JJ McCarthy. But in Dynasty, yes, I'm going to get Addison. But right now in redraft, I cannot tell anybody to do that with Carson Wentz and JJ McCarthy, the quarterback. Mike Shema says, gee, you looking pimp on. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know it. Yes, sir. You know it. Ravon. Sorry if I'm killing your name, Ravon Jedi Master. He says, get him, Mr. Fantasy Good Sports. You know it. Justin says, who you starting, Pittman or Ayoman? I'm starting Pittman. Christopher says, Keon, Troy Franklin, or Ollie Gordon in the flex. I'm going with Ollie Gordon over Troy Franklin and Keon. Ed Tays, yep, new addition. There you go. Y'all boys, bro, hey, I love it. I love it. Guys, I got like an encyclopedia type mind. Y'all know all these teams and players. That's just because I love sports. That shit is in here. All I'm writing down is the player name, who they going against, and a footnote for as like a one word. If I want to say I'm gonna drop, I might put drop, and then I can go off on and tell you all about that. That's how I do. I love football. Love football. So I just want y'all to know that this is how I do my content. But I do research. I'm always listening to content 24/7. I go to sleep with my earbuds in my ear, listening to content, listening to football, people talk about football, listening to some of the stats that I might need to tell y'all content the next day. Jay Moore says, got burnt by Atlanta DST and Franklin. Yes. It happens, bro, but that's why I'm playing a lot of DST leagues. Chris says, is Hunter Henry good enough where I can trade away McBride for an RB? Yes, do that. But make sure you get a top RB, Chris. Like, I don't mind you trading McBride for a Genty type. I'm not mad at it, or a Chuba, I get that. I love what you're doing there, Chris. That is a strategy that I like to do. Because I'm like, man, I got a tight end. Hunter Henry could be the #1 tight end. So why not get off of Brock Bowers or Trey McBride and go get a Genty or Chuba Hubbard or Alvin Kamara or Cam Scatterbo and another piece, right? Jay Moore says likely should be back this week. Yeah, man, but listen, I think I wouldn't play him immediately. He coming off a foot injury. Foot injuries are tough. Jay Moore says thought on Alec Pierce. I love Alec Pierce for a boom play, but right now he's got the concussion. But when he comes back, he's gonna be okay. Now Michael Pittman probably gonna get a few more targets, and Adonis, the guy from Texas, I can't think of his name. But the targets are going to window down a little bit since Alec is probably going to miss this week. But I love Michael Pittman as a start. But I like Alec Pierce. I love the boom play guys. You just got to put him in the flex certain weeks and trust it. Duncan says, word up, bruh. Chilling like Mike Dillon. On penicillin. Stop it, bruh. Stop it. Don't nobody know nothing about that. These guys in here young. Diego says, who should I drop, Josh Downs or Cedric Tillman? Josh Downs. Chris Vita says, Swift has a new hip injury. I think Managa is a mustache, at least for this week. Yes. And I had to drop Managa in one league, but yes, I believe, yes, go get Managa. Chris says, can I drop Calvin Ridley? He looks washed. Yes, but try to trade him and see what somebody wants. If they don't want him, then you drop him. Let somebody else have that problem. Don't worry about if he have a good game after you drop him. That's like you get rid of a girl, you break up with a woman. This is vice versa for both men and women. You break up with that person, and then the next person said, "Oh man, they was incredible in the bedroom." Be like, "Well, good for you, bro. I don't miss it. I was with that person for 2 or 3 years. Good job for you." So are you gonna feel bad just because this person had a great time with this person and they went to the beach with him? No, you already walked away from it. So if you drop Calvin Ridley, we ain't worried about him no more. We done with that. We don't spin the block here. When I drop you, I'm not spinning the block unless I absolutely have to. I ain't going without, but I ain't spinning the block on no regular situation. I'm cooking today, guys. I need to soup it. Yeah, I'm cooking today. I am cooking. I'm Chef TD today. Calvin Ridley or Alec Ayomanor. I'm going with Alec Ayomanor. The Gone Network says Chase Brown or Scatterbo in standard. Scatterbo all day. And Ollie Gordon or Willie Marks off waivers. Ollie Gordon. AJ Starr says help start. Judkins or Chase Brown. You got to go with Judkins. Chase Brown, do not drop him. Especially Judkins is a great non-PPR running back. He don't catch a lot of passes, but he can. But he's a great bell cow. Green zone touch. Chris says, no, FW Mitchie says Genty and JSN for Bijan. Yeah, I have James Cook, Gibbs, and Drake London. Yeah, listen, man, you giving up some sauce, but it's you consolidating. If Mitchie, I don't know what your whole team is going to look like, but if you can go and implement your team and you don't have to worry about starts and sits where, okay, I got rid of JSN and Genty, but now I got Bijan, I got James Cook, Gibbs, and London, and all those guys are going to start, and you got the other positions filled with good players, make that move. Chris Villa says, Krosky, no practice today. Maybe you should stash Chris Rodriguez. Big facts. Chris says, keep Burton or Troy Franklin. Today, I was at school, and somebody wore a sundress, and I had never saw her with a sundress. So guess what? I'm going with the new sundress. I've been talking to this other girl. We sending letters back, flirting. But when I sent her a letter, asked her, did she want to come out to the movie? She didn't. Troy Franklin didn't do anything last week. So you know what? I'm going over here with this girl with the sundress. So I'm with Burden. I'm with Luther Burden right now. So let's go with Luther Burden and see what happens. That doesn't mean that we won't pick up Troy Franklin next week. We could go pick up Troy Franklin next week. Because we ain't saying, oh, get away from me, none of that. We just kind of just pivoting a little bit out of tension. That's all. Cameron says, TD, you always cooking. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. King of Nike says, Kyler Murray or Brock Purdy. I'm going with Kyler Murray with the rushing upside of a Brock Purdy coming off the injury. Jay Moore says, drop Tootin for Ayomanor and JMC for Gordon. Thoughts? No, do not drop no Tootin. We're not dropping Tootin. So I want you to get Ayomanor on your team, but we're not dropping Tootin for him. And JMC for Gordon, no, we're not dropping JMC. Let's see what happens. But I want you to get Gordon on your team, but we're not dropping Jacory Krosky-Mary. We're not dropping Bill Nye, the science guy. King of Nike says London or BTJ. I'm going to go with London because I trust the quarterback play in Atlanta better than I do with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Father 3 says, bruh, your energy is unmatched. Thank you, bruh. It is. Bruh, I would love for y'all to talk to some of my friends. They would tell you, good or bad. We argued. We almost got into it. My energy, but they come back around and be my friend. Why? Because they know they can trust me. They know they can ask me something. I'm not going to lie most of the time. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm not lying, but everything don't got to be said, right? But yeah, man. He says, you're the only fantasy expert who approaches the game with passion. Salute and keep grinding, bro. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. That's my superpower. It was that way on the field, too. I did some amazing things on the field that I never thought I could do. Guys that was bigger than me. Now, I wasn't small. I was strong. I could power clean. I'm picking up 250 as a 15-year-old, picking up off the floor, squatting, 410. Actually, like a little bit more than 410. It was more like 440 or something like that. Squatting it, I was a beast. Could jump out the gym. Had a 40-inch vertical, about 15, 16 years old. Broad jump, crazy. Some of the NFL numbers y'all see, I was doing that shit as a 15-year-old. I was a phenom. But it was because of my passion. I was like the ugly duckling. Did nobody see me coming? I started playing sports late, and then once I learned it, Chris Vita says, I have Drake May. Should I stash Purdy or running back where I'm very thin? No, I think you should stash a running back where you thin. Diego says, which wide receiver would be a good trade for Jordan Mason? Brian Thomas Jr. Let me give you one more. Devontae Adams. But I can give you more, man. Put that question in another video in the comment section, and I can go and give you a more detail. I can give you 4 or 5 guys, but right now I only can give you 2. Jordan Love or Daniel Jones? I'm gonna say Daniel Jones. He's on fire right now. Both of these quarterbacks are good, but we got to find out which one you're gonna play, and then which one you're gonna try to trade. So hopefully both of them have good games, and then you got to make your decision. But we're not gonna sit here and say Jordan Love and Daniel Jones every week, Tyler. That's not what we do, because the quarterback position, man, guys, I can go show y'all the top defenses. Look at Green Bay. A quarterback is gonna play good against them, and we're gonna like, well, it ain't just gonna be Lamar. It's gonna be a quarterback that we never expected. It's gonna be a Baker Mayfield. It could be a Cam Ward. You never know. So keep playing your quarterbacks if you trusted them in the beginning of the season. Usually they get on fire and they start playing well against tougher matchups. And tougher matchups make quarterbacks play more, because usually they run the ball when they blowing another team out. So I love tough matchups. That makes the quarterback play the whole game. So I'm going with Daniel Jones in a vacuum. Senior, appreciate the super chat, bruh. He says, need 3 flex PPR. Horton, Ja'Cory, Bill Not a Size Guy, Ollie Gordon, Keon, Fannin, and Burton, or Hunter. So I'm going to go with Burton, Ollie Gordon, and Ja'Cory Crosby-Merritt. But if Ja'Cory Crosby-Merritt doesn't play, then I would play Keon. So it's between Keon and Ja'Cory Crosby-Merritt, depending on the injury. If the all injuries are good, then go play Ja'Cory over Keon. If Ja'Cory got an injury, play Keon. Then I would go to Ollie Gordon and Luther Burton. King of Nike says, trying to trade Kyler Murray and Debo for Mahomes. Also, Brian Thomas Jr. and Genty for Henry. I like the Brian Thomas Jr. and Genty for Henry. I love that. But the Kyler Murray and Debo for Mahomes, I think Xavier Worthy really hurts this team. They needed him for a deep threat. But when Rashid Rice comes back, they'll be okay. But he's not going to be a top 3. I'd rather get Caleb Williams, bro, than to get Mahomes. And you can get Mahomes cheaper than what you're paying for. Michael White says, should I drop Chubb? Depending on what your team look like. But he ain't. Listen, man. He's just, if you need something, he's a rental. That's all it is. You can go rent, and you can rent almost anything in today's game, right? In today's life. So he's just a rental, bro. He's nothing to be holding on to if you got other good players that's gonna have opportunities. Then he's getting opportunities, so don't drop him from nobody that ain't getting opportunities. Cameron Austin says, I drafted Trey Benson in my dynasty league this year. What a payoff! Yes, good job, bro. Father 3 says, we need to meet and greet soon. Yes, bro. I will be doing it. I got to let my channel grow. I probably won't do my first meet and greet until about 20,000 subscribers. But hopefully that comes soon. That's why I'm grinding. Joe Reyes says, I need help with pick. Baltimore, KC. I'm going with Baltimore. Cameron says Chris Godwin was a full participant in practice today. Yeah, but he's, you know how he got like lingering injuries. It doesn't mean that he can be healthy, but it still hurts. Man, we need another football movie where you think these guys be okay, but look at any given Sunday. This is going on, guys. These guys, you be like, oh, he looks good, he's healthy. Guys, his elbow, he probably won't be able to extend his arm out when he gets 45, 50, like that type of shit happens. So these guys like Chris Godwin, his legs is gonna be killing him when it get cold. So his shit can still be hurting, but he can take a Tylenol and play the game. So I just want to see Chris Godwin go out there and have a productive week before I put him in. But you just giving me the news. Senor Rojas says, oh, forgot. Would you drop Penix for Dart? Probably, because you can go back to Penix. Thomas says, what up, TD? Start Ollie Gordon or Henderson? I would start Henderson over Ollie Gordon in just a vacuum. I like Ollie. Man, that's tough. I think Trayvon Henderson can catch some passes. Ollie Gordon gonna get a touchdown. He gonna get at least one rushing touchdown. So if you need one rushing touchdown and that's a nice floor for you, play Ollie Gordon. But Trayvon can get a 70-yard touchdown. So the upside is Trayvon Henderson, but the safe play is Ollie. And if I got a good team, I'll probably just roll out Ollie. What's up, D Tate? King of Nuggets says, I have Rice. That's why I'm trading for Mahomes. I get it, but I don't think you need Mahomes. I think there's better quarterbacks. I think Bo Nix can end up having a better year than Mahomes. So be careful just going and get Mahomes because he's Mahomes. And last comment, Kenyon says, I'm thinking of trading Andrews and Monty for Keenan Allen. Hell yeah, I'll do that. If you need a wide receiver, I have Barkley, Taylor, JSN, MH, Junkins, Jawan Johnson. Yeah, you need a tight end. There's nothing wrong with that. Hopefully you be happy with Keenan Allen. Don't say I made a mistake later. So be happy with Keenan Allen. Is Allen a good replacement for MHJ? No, I'm going to tell you something, bro. I don't think you need to make the trade. You need to let Marvin Harrison Jr. form. If you got a good team. Now, if you losing and you got to get a win this week, then make the move. But didn't make the move. But if you yeah, I would just keep Marvin Harrison Jr. and keep playing him. That's what I would do before I go and trade for Keenan Allen, who can go down with an injury. Shark Graham says David Njoku or Zach Ertz. I'm going with David Njoku until Jaden Daniels comes back. Jaden Daniels comes back. I'm going with Njoku into that. And once he gets back, then Zach Ertz is him. Montoya says, should I pick up DeMarcus Robinson, Savannah Francisco, or Luther Burton? Luther Burton all day, bro. Luther Burton all day. Michael White says, is Shakur Worth starting every week? Yes, for a PPR league. He's going to give you a safe floor. KJ says, I traded Amon-Ra plus Zay Flowers plus Pacheco for Saquon and Drake London. I appreciate your thoughts. Please and thank you. I think you made a mistake. I think you went and you just got names that's first-round picks, and you didn't have any context of what's going to be changing. Zay Flowers has been him. He's playing on a great offense. He's going to be good. Amon-Ra is Amon-Ra. Now, I got off Amon-Ra to go get Jameson and other pieces and to make my dynasty team better, so I get that. But in a vacuum right now, I'm not doing it for Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley, man, he's not going to – it ain't that he's struggling. You got to wait for his game script. They got so many ways to win, to beat you. They can beat you with a tush push. They can beat you with Saquon. They can beat you with A.J. Brown. They can beat you sharing the balls with the wide receivers. So I don't want that type of team. So I would have kept the Amon-Ra and Zay Flowers. Now, it could change. I don't think it's a bad trade for us. The value. You got value, but I don't know if you got the right players. Jimmy says, Chef Boyardee, TD. Chef, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shark Shake says, thank you. Anytime. J Moore says, I really like Isaiah Likely as a stash flex option, but I have Tyler Warren as a starter. Thoughts? Get Likely. You might be able to trade him later if you got room on your team. Chief Heat says, Trey Tucker, Troy Franklin, Matthew Golden, start one. Matthew Golden. KJ says, thank you. Anytime. Thomas, last comment says, would you drop Fannin Jr. or Hawkinson to pick up Likely? Yes, I would drop Fannin Jr. to pick up Likely. All right. Well, listen, guys, I'm going to get ready to get out of here. Y'all guys be safe. I'll see y'all later. Michael White. You see I'm doing a video. Somebody going to make me acknowledge them, ain't they? They know I'm doing a video. Michael White said, would you play Turpin and Dallas other backup wide receiver together this week? Would you play Turpin and Dallas other backup? I would play Turpin, but I wouldn't play Tolbert. Chef Boy says Stafford. I'll call you later. Chef Boys, Stafford or Prescott? I'm going with Stafford while CeeDee Lamb is out. I'm going with Stafford while CeeDee Lamb is out. Thank you, Stacy. Jay Moore said, would you trade Likely and Ollie for Harvey? No, it just depends on what your team look like, Jay Moore. Because you're going to have to wait. If you're willing to wait and you already got a good team, you're just trying to consolidate to have a good bingo card for late in the season when Harvey gets his number called, because he probably will get called. Boy, he's going to have the backfield by himself. Yes, but you don't be talking about you need a tight end or you needed another running back. You make that move and you good. Your team is solid. You don't need any depth. Don't make that move. And all right. Yes, what's going on, Jor? Yes, sir. All right, guys, y'all be safe. See y'all later. Peace.